You ever notice how your life changes the moment you stop feeling and start seeing? Not with your eyes, not with your emotions, but with that cold clarity inside you, the one you've been ignoring your whole life. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to say, most people aren't ready to hear it. That's why they stay average. That's why they stay lost. That's why they never become anything more than a follower in their own story. But you're here, which means something inside you is starting to wake up. Something sharp, something ruthless, something hungry. And this voice, my voice, isn't here to comfort you. It's here to confront you, to strip away the layers of softness you've used to protect yourself, to remove the excuses you decorate your failures with, to show you who you really are beneath all the noise. So listen, there comes a moment when a person breaks away from who they used to be. Not because they're brave, not because they're confident, but because they finally see the truth. Feelings have been controlling them their entire life. Fear, doubt, laziness, comfort, other people's opinions, that endless desire to be approved, liked, accepted. It's pathetic, and you know it. Every time you hesitated, every time you played it safe, every time you walked away from the edge, it wasn't logic, it wasn't strategy, it wasn't intelligence. It was emotion, pure emotion. And emotion is the reason you're stuck. Emotion keeps you soft. Emotion keeps you slow. Emotion ties your hands behind your back and whispers lies into your ear. You're not ready. You might fail. What will people think? What if it doesn't work? But look what happens the moment you kill the emotion, the moment you detach, the moment you stop giving a damn about how you feel and start caring only about what needs to be done. Your vision sharpens. Your purpose enters the room. Your instincts stop shaking. And a different version of you begins to rise. A version that doesn't care about comfort. A version that doesn't wait for motivation. A version that doesn't fold under pressure. A version that follows the mission, nothing else. Now think about this. How much of your life have you wasted reacting instead of acting? How many dreams died because you waited to feel ready? How many opportunities slipped through your fingers because your emotions told you, not today, maybe tomorrow? But tomorrow didn't save you. It killed you. Slowly, quietly, patiently. Because emotion is the enemy of execution, and execution is the only thing that transforms a person's life. You want the truth? Here it is. You have everything you need to change your life, except the discipline to ignore your feelings. And that's where the ego comes in. Not arrogance, not delusion, not I'm better than everyone. No, ego is the moment you realize your life is your responsibility, and your responsibility alone. Ego is the moment when the voice inside you stops begging and starts demanding. Ego is what says, I don't care how tired I am. I don't care what happened yesterday. I don't care what anyone thinks. This is my mission, and I'm finishing it. Ego is your awakening. Ego is clarity. Ego is control of yourself. Most people fear their ego. That's why they stay average. That's why they stay dependent. That's why they stay emotional. But the strong, the focused, the ones who rise, they use their ego as a blade, a weapon, a compass, a reminder that they're not here to react. They're here to conquer. So ask yourself, are you willing to kill the emotion that's been distracting you? Are you willing to follow the mission even when it hurts, even when it's boring, even when nobody is watching, even when nobody believes in you? Are you willing to become the version of you that doesn't need validation, doesn't need permission, doesn't need the world to agree? Because that version is in you right now, waiting, watching, getting impatient, getting louder. The version of you that says, stop feeling, start moving. Stop hoping, start acting. Stop dreaming, start executing. Stop being emotional, start being inevitable. This is your ego awakening, your moment of clarity, your shift from weakness to purpose, from noise to silence, from chaos to control. Now let me ask you one final question for this part. If your emotions stopped controlling you today, who would you become tomorrow? Think about that.
Listen carefully. There comes a moment in your life where you stop moving blindly, and you finally start seeing the field. Most people never reach that point. They drift, they react, they copy what everyone else is doing and convince themselves that they're making progress. They live in a fog, thinking they're making choices, when really they're just responding to whatever the world throws at them. But something different is happening inside you right now. You're starting to feel it. That discomfort in your chest, that pressure in your mind, that quiet voice that says, this isn't enough. This isn't who I'm meant to be. That's the beginning of awakening. Not emotional, not dramatic, just a cold, undeniable awareness that you've been sleepwalking. And now, you're waking up. You're starting to see how much of your life has been shaped by other people's expectations, how much of your potential has been sacrificed to fit into spaces you were never meant to belong in, how much time you've spent doing what the weak do, following, waiting, hoping, hesitating. That era ends now. Because the moment you become aware of the field, you also become responsible for the next move. And here's the uncomfortable truth you've been avoiding. You're not losing because you're incapable. You're losing because you're indecisive. You're not falling behind because others are better. You're falling behind because they're faster. Not physically, but mentally. They decide quicker. They commit sharper. They take risks you hesitate to take. You want success, but you refuse to carry the mindset it requires. You want transformation, but you cling to the identity you should have abandoned years ago. You want results, but your ego is still asleep. So let's wake it up. Not the ego people warn you about, not arrogance, not delusion. The ego that says, I am in control. I choose the direction. I choose the pace. I choose the outcome. Awareness without action is useless. Awakening without execution is wasted. You are becoming aware, but awareness is only the first step. The battlefield doesn't reward awareness. It rewards adaptation, movement, precision. You think you're at a disadvantage? Good. Because disadvantage forces clarity. It forces creativity. It forces you to stop depending on talent and start depending on strategy. And strategy is what will separate you from the masses. Look around you. People are wasting their lives waiting for motivation, waiting for a sign, waiting for the perfect moment to start, as if the universe is ever going to tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, today's the day you stop being average. No, the universe doesn't care. The world doesn't care. Time doesn't care. But you have to. This is your awakening moment. The moment where you shift from being someone who reacts to life to someone who designs it. And that shift is violent. It means cutting off the version of you that keeps stalling. It means eliminating the excuses you've been nursing for years. It means looking at yourself without emotion, without pity, without bias, and saying, this is where I am. This is where I should be, and I refuse to stay here any longer. This isn't motivation. This is alignment. This is you stepping into the mindset of someone who decides without fear, moves without permission, and grows without apology.
This is the part where your ego finally wakes up and whispers, "Enough." Enough waiting, enough doubting, enough delaying, enough pretending you have time. You don't. Awaken now, or stay asleep forever. Your move.
There's a moment every person goes through. A split second that cuts deeper than any failure, any heartbreak, any pain you've survived. It's the moment you finally see yourself clearly. Not the version you post online, not the version people praise, not the version you pretend to be. No, the real one. The one you've kept buried under excuses, distractions, and endless, "one day I'll change." And that moment can feel like a punch to the gut, because suddenly, you understand something terrifying. You've been living at 10% of who you could be. Not because you're weak, not because you're incapable, but because you never demanded more from yourself. You coasted, you hesitated, you followed instead of deciding, and you didn't even realize it. People think ego is arrogance, but ego, the real ego, is the moment you stop lying to yourself about the gap between who you are and who you could be. It's the moment you face the truth. You've been passive in a life that requires aggression, and for the first time, you get angry. Not at others, at yourself. Because you see all the wasted potential, all the opportunities you ignored, all the times you settled for good enough when you knew damn well you had more in you. That inner shift from, "Why can't I win?" to, "I'm the one who decides whether I win." And real life is no different. You don't become dangerous when you get stronger. You become dangerous when you become aware. Aware of your patterns, aware of your comfort, aware of how much you've been playing small. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You look at your habits, and suddenly they look pathetic. You look at your excuses, and they sound embarrassing. You look at your past decisions, and you recognize how much you sabotaged yourself by choosing the easy path every time. This awareness hurts. It burns. It's supposed to. Because that burn, that's the friction between the life you have and the life you want. And you have two choices. You can numb the discomfort, or you can let it wake you up. Most people numb it. They drown it in entertainment, in distractions, in temporary pleasures. They don't want to confront the truth that they've been sleepwalking for years. But not you. Not anymore. Because once your ego wakes up, once you realize you've been operating at a fraction of your capacity, something irreversible happens. You stop accepting average. You stop inspiring people with words and start inspiring yourself with actions. You stop waiting for permission to live your life. You choose the play. You choose the field. You choose the outcome. Not emotionless, but precise. Not heartless, but focused. Not arrogant, but awake enough to stop settling for mediocrity. And that's the shift you need right now. Not motivation, not hype, not a reason to start. What you need is perspective. The cold clarity that where you are right now is not the best you can do. And the moment you accept that, you ignite a version of yourself that's been waiting for years to be born. A version that doesn't follow. A version that decides. A version that doesn't ask, "Can I do this?" but asks, "How far can I go if I stop holding myself back?" This is the ego awakening. Not the loud ego, not the fragile ego, the silent one. The one that grows when you stop pretending your life is fine as it is. Because it isn't, and you know it. And that honesty, that sting in your chest right now, that's the beginning. That's the shift. That's the moment everything changes. Not when you win, not when you succeed, not when the world finally recognizes you, but now, right now.
In this exact second, the moment you admit, I've been holding myself back, and I refuse to do it anymore. That's the real awakening. The ego that turns ordinary into extraordinary. And this is only the beginning. Listen to me and listen carefully, because nobody in your life is going to tell you this the way I'm about to. No one is coming to fix you. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to drag you out of the mess you built. It's you. It has always been you. And deep down, you know that. You keep waiting for someone to understand you, to motivate you, to push you, to check on you. And that waiting has turned you into a shadow of who you could be. You need to hear this without flinching. You are the reason you're stuck. And you are the only one who can get yourself out. You want discipline? No one can install it in you. You want ambition? No one can force it into your bones. You want results? No one can hand them to you wrapped neatly like a gift. You have to take them. You have to fight for them. You have to bleed for them. You keep acting like someone's going to show up and give you the life you want. No. The world doesn't reward the quiet dreamer. It rewards the one who gets up when everyone else is sitting, moves when everyone else is waiting, and chooses the hard path when everyone else picks comfort. You want to know the truth? Every single day, life is testing you. Every single day, you're being asked one brutal question. Are you willing to do what's required? Or not? Not what feels good, not what feels motivating, not what feels inspiring. Required. And right now, you're listening because you know you've been avoiding what's required. You've been negotiating with laziness, bargaining with excuses, making peace with your own weakness. Stop that. Stop lying to yourself. Stop letting comfort talk to you like it's your friend. Comfort is killing you. Comfort is stealing your potential. Comfort is burying the person you could have become. You don't need more time. You don't need more chances. You don't need more motivation. You need to get up and do the thing. Right now. Exactly where you are, with exactly what you have. Because here's the harsh truth. If you don't do it, no one will. People may support you. They may encourage you. They may believe in you. But none of them can walk your road for you. None of them can face your demons for you. None of them can fight your battles for you. This is your life. Your responsibility. Your consequences. Your results. So stop acting like a spectator in your own life. Stop scrolling through people who built themselves while you sit there convincing yourself you'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is a graveyard of failed potential. Tomorrow is the lie you tell yourself to avoid changing today. You want to change? Then do it. You want to break your limits? Then prove it. You want to stop being weak? Then act like it. Nobody cares how you feel. Nobody cares how tired you are. Nobody cares how hard your life is. Life only responds to action. Life only rewards decision. Life only honors the person who refuses to quit. So here's the command. Stand up. Do the work. Do it angry. Do it tired. Do it uncomfortable. Do it scared. But do it. Because if you don't, you will wake up one day and realize the harshest truth of all. You didn't lose to the world. You lost to yourself. Not today. Not anymore. Not if you decide right now that you're done being your own obstacle. So get up. Move. Fight. Build. Break your limits. Kill your excuses. And become the one person who can finally save you. Yourself.
I want you to really hear this.
Not with your ears, but with your life. Because everything you've been through, all the pain, all the frustration, all the nights you lay awake wondering why nothing is changing, it wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to wake you. You've been waiting on the world to give you a reason to rise. But the world doesn't hand out reasons. It hands out challenges. And those challenges, they weren't sent to defeat you. They were sent to shape you. You see, life has a strange way of testing your belief in yourself. It will put you in places that hurt. It will take people from you. It will force you to stand alone. Not because you're abandoned, but because you're being built. And I know you're tired. You're tired of trying, tired of pretending, tired of fighting battles nobody sees, tired of carrying weights nobody thanks you for. But hear me. You're tired because you've been trying to grow inside a life that no longer fits you. That frustration you feel, that pressure, that voice inside saying, I can't keep living like this. That is not weakness. That is your becoming. Now I'm going to tell you something people don't like to hear. You cannot wait for motivation. You cannot wait for confidence. You cannot wait for courage. You have to create them. You have to decide, right here, right now, that you are done living as the weakened version of yourself. You're done asking for permission. You're done shrinking so others feel comfortable. You're done expecting life to hand you what you haven't earned. You want change? Then you change. You want progress? Then you move. You want strength? Then you fight for it. Because no matter how many people want to help you, no matter how many people believe in you, nobody can walk your path for you. Nobody can climb your mountain for you. Nobody can save you from the person you've been. Only you can do that. You have something powerful inside you. But potential means nothing without action. Potential doesn't build a future. Potential doesn't rebuild a broken life. Potential doesn't change the world. Decision does. Action does. Commitment does. And I'm telling you right now, you've got everything you need to rise. Not because you feel ready, not because life is easy, but because you are still here. If life wanted you gone, you'd be gone. If life wanted you weak, you'd have stayed weak. But you're listening to this. You're fighting for something. You're reaching for something. You wouldn't be here if you weren't meant to overcome what you're facing. So stop doubting yourself. Stop minimizing your strength. Stop believing the lie that you're powerless. You're not powerless. You're untrained. You're unsharpened. You're unfinished. And that's exactly why you're dangerous. Because the moment you decide to take control of your life, there won't be a single force on this planet that can stop you. So lift your head, straighten your back, stop apologizing for wanting more. Stop shrinking because you're afraid of being seen. You were not born to be weak. You were not born to follow. You were not born to play small. You were born to decide. You were born to break limits. You were born to rise, and rise loudly. This is your moment. This is your decision. This is your turning point. Now take it.
Listen carefully. Because I'm not here to sugarcoat anything for you. You've had enough of that. People have been gentle with you your entire life. And where has it gotten you? Nowhere.
So hear me when I say this. You need to do this, and only you can do it. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to drag you out of bed. Nobody is going to force you to change your life. Nobody is going to call you every morning and say, "Hey, it's time to become the person you're meant to be." That's your job, your responsibility, your duty. Because this is your life, your pain, your purpose. And if you don't step up, no one else will step in. People can support you. People can encourage you. People can inspire you. But the work, the real, brutal, life-changing work, is yours and yours alone. And let me tell you something. You are capable of more than you've ever allowed yourself to believe. You've been walking around like you're weak, like you're fragile, like you're waiting for someone to grant you permission to rise. Let me be clear. You don't need permission. You need action. You need to stop doubting yourself. Stop hesitating. Stop playing small. Stop shrinking just to make everybody else comfortable. Because let me tell you something powerful. There is greatness in you. Not in them. Not in someone else. In you. Right now. In this moment. In that chest of yours where your regrets hide. In that heart of yours that's been beaten but won't stop beating. There is greatness in you. But greatness won't show up if you don't show up. Greatness won't shine if you stay in the dark. Greatness won't grow if you keep feeding your excuses instead of your potential. You want a different life? Then you must become a different person. And nobody, let me repeat this, nobody can do that transformation for you. You're not waiting for a miracle. You're waiting for yourself. You're waiting for that moment when you finally say, "I'm done being average. I'm done being afraid. I'm done living below my potential. I'm done letting my emotions control my destiny." You've had enough nights feeling empty, enough mornings feeling lost, enough days pretending everything is fine when you know deep down it's not. So now, right now, this is the moment where you decide. Do you keep wasting your life? Or do you stand up right now and say, "No more. Not another day. Not another hour. Not another breath wasted on weakness." Because whether you believe it or not, everything you want, everything you dream of, everything you've been terrified to chase, it's all waiting for one thing: your decision. Not your motivation, not your confidence, not your perfect plan. Your decision. The moment you say, "This is who I am now. This is what I'm becoming. This is what I'm going after, and nothing is going to stop me." You need to do this. And only you can do it. Stop waiting. Stop delaying. Stop holding back. You are the one who has to move. You are the one who has to change. You are the one who has to break the old patterns and build new ones. You are the one who has to fight the hardest battle, the battle against the weaker version of yourself. And you can win. You will win. But only if you decide. Only if you commit. Only if you rise now. Because greatness is available to those who refuse to remain the same.